What is going on, guys? This is Rockst4r here, and I finally have part 4 of the history of Rockst4r for you guys today. And off the start, I want to apologize for it being such a long time in between the uploads. And wanted to try to keep this series at a constant pace, try to have a video every day if possible. And I was doing pretty well with that the first 3, but some things came up last weekend, had a pretty busy weekend, and then ended up getting sick. And my voice has just not been with me. It's still a little hoarse now, but literally for like the past 3 or 4 days, I haven't even had my voice. Like every time I would talk, my voice would crack, and it just sounded awful. And trying to do a commentary like that just would not work. But I think I'm finally getting over whatever I had. I think it was just sort of some allergy issues, but I think we're getting better, and I am ready to do these commentaries. Try to see how many episodes we can knock out of this series real quick. But let's go ahead and get into it. I know the last time left you guys with sort of explaining I'd first gotten my capture card and what my first 3 videos were, and I just pumped out 3 montages the first 3 days of having my capture card. But I still wish I had those videos, man. I'll get into that later, what happened to all those videos. But let's go ahead and let's backtrack maybe 1 month, 1.5 months or so, back to the release of Call of Duty World at War. This was a fun time for me because I actually got the beta for this game. Like I was actually one of the people that got the beta, and it was really fun to play. Actually, I didn't even get the beta. I stole it. I had to recover my friend's account and play or sign in on his name and then sign out and sign back in on mine so I could play. But it worked, and I was able to play the beta. But it was a lot of fun, and this was back whenever I was still doing the competitive stuff pretty heavy with GB and stuff. So what GB sort of did, or Game Battle sort of did, was have a beta ladder where you could play matches against you make the team just like any other Game Battles game. But it was a little different with the beta because you couldn't do private matches yet. You just had regular ranked matches, and I mean it was 6v6, and it would just be a random game type that you would have to play. But the thing you had to do, you had to get to your top 6, get in a lobby, and then invite the other team to the lobby and try to fill it up with all your players before anyone else would join. So that's the way you would get matches. But with this team that we had made, we were pretty solid. Like, we ended COD 4 together. It was called IFX Influence X, and my name was IFX Rockstar then at the time. And we started out on World at War, and this is a new game. We know we have everyone has a clean slate to try to be the best. And off the gate, we literally just run stuff in the beta. Like, we had our 6v6 team, or our team of 6 that we had going, was pretty unbeatable. I know throughout the beta we did not lose a match. I remember us playing. We actually played Team Fear in the beta. At the time it was Moho, Assassin, I want to say Choppy and Pac-Man, I want to say, were 2 of the other players, and then they had 2 other players. I forgot who they were, but it was a 6v6. But I remember actually playing them in the beta a couple of times, and we honestly destroyed them. And me and my friends sort of joked about it, how we sort of made Fear quit World at War and go back to COD 4 and all kinds of stuff, because we literally just sort of destroyed them throughout the beta. And that's just one thing I remember being really fun about World at War starting out. And I know we went 27-0 in the beta, and then we started out when the ladder first came out, when the game first came out and GB first started for it. We went 27-0 again before we got beats, and we started out the game 54-1, which was pretty solid. We were on top of the ladder for a while, and then more people started getting pretty good at the game. But as that game was coming out, I think that next summer they sort of had a ladder on Game Battles, for the best snipers in the game on World at War and COD 4, because those are the only 2 games coming out. And they had a voting poll out, and they had names on there. And I know for World at War, I ended up winning that for Game Battles. I was voted the best sniper on World at War for GB and stuff. And I remember Rockst4r, Doggy Treats was actually voted the #1 sniper for that, and I actually came in second for that for GB. But I do remember that. That was pretty vividly back in the day. But that's just one thing I wanted to hint at before we get into something else. To sort of, that was sort of my last bits of pieces of competitive was on Rockst4r, playing those, and then I did go back and do some Rockst4r stuff then that next summer. But I'll get into that later on. But now it is the summer of 2009, I want to say. Yes, and this is sort of where I start getting into my big montage kind of thing. You know, this is around the time where everyone's trying to record for their big ACOG sniper lobby kind of deal montage. You know, you had iBlackouts, Kai08, who else? O'Brizzy, I remember him. I remember No Scope Legend, that's a big one. Those are a few that I can name off the top of my head. But the big thing to try and do back then was to try and get on the channel Top Notch Multimedia, which was a huge deal. If you ever got on that channel, you basically went down as a legend, and that was my main goal. That was my main focus to try and do. But before I actually tried to record for a montage to get on that channel, I actually released a kind of a big montage before that I'm sure not many of you have seen, because it was only on YouTube for maybe 6 months before it was taken down. It was never on my actual Rockst4r channel. It was uploaded to another guy's channel, the guy that edited it. But it was a little montage called Haunted that I did. That was actually my first named montage, was Haunted, and it was edited by a guy named Natigo. I'm not sure if you guys know Natigo, but whenever I was doing some competitive sniping stuff, I did some matches with a team called Rage, and he was in Rage Natigo. He actually edited my first bigger type montage for me. That was the first guy I ever had edit for me, and he did a really good job with it, and it was a really, really sick video. I wish I still had it for you guys to see, but maybe 2 or 3 weeks after that, I decided to start recording for my next montage to try and get on Top Notch Multimedia, and I had a lot of things go down with that, and I want to get into that with my next video. That's going to be a big topic for my next video, is going to be about my first really, really big montage, and it was called Game Over, and it did get on Top Notch Multimedia, but I will talk more about that in the next video, and hopefully you guys enjoyed this one. Next video will definitely be very interesting for you guys, but I will talk to you then. Alright, peace.